What's the usual today?
Morning shot.
Alright, sweet.
Oh, we might have to treat ourselves to an ice cream later though. I reckon.
Sure. Mace power. There it is.
The decisions are pretty tough. However, oh, have you tried the Aquarius Sparkling yet?
Nah, give that a go, eh?
Fizzy yet energizing. Hang on, we have to do this the Aussie way.
Dude, what's the Aussie way?
What is
These
it?
ones are rip start.
Fail.
There we go.
What else we got? What's new?
Well, not bad.
The double chocolates. You can't go wrong. Jeff and I used to punch them after work,
Not true.
waiting to go home from Streeters.
Got an intro yet? And now's the intro, I guess. Alright, welcome to today's video, everyone. We're here with Mr. Macey. Don't really know what we're going to talk about yet. So I'll probably just talk shit and then go around and have a look at his car. So first off, probably maybe give us a story of how you got this car. Yeah.
Bought it off of Instagram. Got a message from a friend.
Yeah.
I won't say who at the moment. Basically, like within a week, went and picked it up because it was so cheap.
Say how much you got it for?
I got it for 350. 350,000 yen. So probably, well, with the right currency at the moment, what 3,500 US dollars.
Some dirt cheap.
Came not as is, but
I'll try check a picture in of like how it was before.
I've actually got a picture of the day I picked it up
Oh, true.
on the truck. So literally, like, got a message saying from a friend, this car's for sale. I messaged the guy and it turned out he spoke English.
Yeah.
Turned out he lived on the Gold
Oh, what, you
Coast.
guys sort of like
Yeah, like he messaged like the friend
Yeah.
messaged him in Japanese saying, "Oh, my foreigner friend wants to buy the car," and then he messaged me, Fumi messaged me in English, and I was sort of like, "Oh, okay, like cool," waiting to have to try and do the old translate fuckery.
right.
So yeah, Fumi like is from Nagoya and lived on the Gold Coast for 12 months, and then also lived in the States because his dad's into like off-road
Yeah.
forward riding.
True.
Yeah, so he wanted to sell it because his teammates wanted him to have a clean car.
Yeah.
And it was pretty beat up, so he considered it as like a reshell or like a throw-out car.
Yeah.
But it had like a good engine and good gearbox and stuff, which he knew about. But sorry for me, you did price it well.
Yeah, if you look back on it now, it'd be like,
What he told me was it had a turbo, cams, and a power seat. Is all he told me.
Yeah.
And then because he'd sent me photos of it drifting, so I knew it had a diff.
Yeah.
When picked it up and when I looked at it, when I looked at it, I was like, well, it's got a boost controller, and because it's got a turbo and cams, it would have to have injectors.
Yeah, you think so?
So I got it, like we got it home, and then went through it, and yeah, it turns out 750cc injectors, like brand new clutch, brand new, pretty much everything in the car was brand new diff, brand new turbo, just everything. I think he built the car maybe 12 months before I bought it.
So basically, you probably didn't really know that much about the car.
He said, this is actually a kind of cool story.
Yeah.
He took the car to a workshop that is Nomiken's old D1 GP mechanic.
Oh, really?
he set the car up for Fumi to then keep up with TD06 cars. Because that was his rule. He was like, I want to keep up with TD06 cars.
Like sort of been set up like real boss.
So I took it to Motorland a couple of years ago and Naoki looked at it and was like, is this a D-Max car? I was like, no, it's from Nagoya.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, that explains why. Because most of the D-Max cars are like Nagoya cars. The way they're built, like Rem's built a lot of Nagoya cars back in the day.
In what way makes them like
The way that MAF senses a position, like little touches like that are specific to certain engine and car builders. Yeah. So like, I'll show you in a minute, just little brackets and stuff that are on the car that like sort of, to Naoki was like, oh, this is a D-Max car. I was like, no, it's not a D-Max car. It's built by Nomicans of D1 mechanic. And he's like, well, there you go. They all build them in a similar way. So that was kind of cool to find out. Actually.
Yeah, right. Especially like knowing from someone like him who's like obviously been around like all those cars and like picked up like,
especially for
maybe it's
$350,000.
Yeah, like a solid built car for that price, and then like have like whoever had been around these cars for like ever saying that like, oh, it's a really like well car. So I bought it knowing that
Fumi didn't know too much about the car and the way it was set up. I think he just was probably in a beginner stage of drifting and wanted to set up a car and went and took it to a shop, got the car set up and then just drove it. I think he crashed it a couple of times in the mountains, like did the rear damage and did front damage as well. But towers and stuff were still good, so he wanted to sell it and make a clean car. And then after I got it, I got a full front face for it. What do you call it? Front clip?
Yeah. It's got radiators.
Radiator, upper, lower, tubs.
Yeah.
Got this cut off, new one.
Did you have to get the frame pulled or anything, or was it just pretty much welded on? Like, cut it off and put it on?
I think it got pulled.
Yeah, just tweaked it a little bit.
The rear's the next one.
Yeah.
I kind of
wait till it gets a little worse and then...
It's pretty bad. It used to be bad, but now it's really bad.
Yeah.
But from going from my old 180 to this was a good step up, and now ready to go up again in the sense of comfort.
At the time that you changed from your 180 to this, was it more of like you wanted to change anyway, or this popped up as a good deal and you were like, I have to jump on this?
Both.
So like perfect kind of scenario type of thing?
I'd been talking for probably 6 months about I need to get a faster car. It was getting to the point where it was just not fun to drive anymore because everybody's cars were the next level up.
There's only so far you can go from the stock turbo.
Yeah, I mean, when I first moved here and had the T28 180, everybody else drove T28 cars on the hills, so it was slow because I was learning to drive and it wasn't geared properly, but it was still fun. But then as T28 started becoming more expensive, you couldn't get them easily. People then started putting aftermarket turbos on, and then it was just a game changer.
Yeah.
So, and then like little things like if you want to start taking your driving seriously, you need to have a bit of
around 350 kind of thing if you want to get serious in the circuit.
Yeah, well, not now.
No, it seems to be at least like
this
400.
Is Hills.
Yeah, right.
Hills is 330, 350 maybe now. Is the easy balance, and then Mayhan's what 450 now minimum.
Yeah, around 450 is like the main like top guys.
So that's pretty much the story of this car. Since I got it, I've changed a fair bit.
Should we go around and have a look at it as we talk about it? Yeah. Hey guys, real quick before we get into the rest of this video, I just wanted to let you know that I just launched an online store and an Instagram account. So if you wanted to support this channel or just get some cool stuff from Japan, then I'd really appreciate it if you check it out. I'm going to be selling lots of cool stuff like these Drifting Goku magazines, steering wheels. Also be doing stickers and stuff like that, which will go directly into making content for YouTube, where I aim to do weekly uploads as well as stock parts and offer a buying agent service throughout all of Japan. So it would mean a lot if you guys could check that out, support, drop a comment, letting me know what you want to see shop wise and content wise. Cheers guys, back to the video. Alright, should we where do you want to start? The engine bay or interior?
So yeah, all of this was pretty much pushed back in like a D. When I bought it, as with the lower one, it was like caved in.
And welded from here, or where was it?
I think he actually cut it down the bottom here. He's cut it down the bottom, or he might have even pulled it, and you can unstitch it from the front.
I see. Yeah, because all the like sealer still looks all
still standard.
Standard, yeah.
So they were pushed in a little bit, but it was mainly like here and the lower radiator support that was all crunched up. So
it's all mint now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got the front off of a car that had a rear crash. So
okay.
I got the front cheap because that was a donor car that got binned. So got
win-win.
that cut off and put on. So that's all pretty and shit lines up reasonably okay now. But yeah, like has HPI freaking radiator from when I bought it, and like the little brackets that I was talking about, like the map sensor for airflow.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Sort of little sensor there, and like your boost controller is all type
off the intake. Yeah.
So just
it's
little
really
things
clean,
like sensors in weird positions that I'd never noticed or seen, but yeah, Naoki saw them, was just like, that's why.
Yeah, or like classic signs of a car from that tuner.
Just people that know what they're doing, I think, that have probably been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Intercooler was all I've redone. It was all mangled up, so...
Before it was just a front mount intercooler,
Yeah. Really, really sort of banged up front mount, which I used until I had a big crash at Mayhan.
Yeah.
And then redid headlights, front bumpers, fenders. And I got Takumi to do an intercooler under the radiator support.
It's all super nice, eh? Did it have the oil cooler on there before as well?
No. So the things that I've put in is the new intercooler, and I've put an oil cooler on it. That's it for engine bay.
How much has that changed the car, like temp and response wise? Did you notice much of a difference?
Response wise, not too much, because it's only a little T517.
Yeah.
But temp wise, like the oil cooler obviously makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't see over 100 degrees anymore, ever. Like,
can constantly hot lap.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday we were at Mayhan, and how hot was it? 33 degrees?
At least like
degrees?
mid-30s, yeah.
And we did 2 sessions straight. Like, we didn't have a break.
And didn't go above 90?
No problems. Water stays pretty high because obviously it's got to get through the intercooler again, and then not having a shroud on the back from being crashed.
Probably having a shroud would like help it quite a bit.
However, I have my little trick on the back. I got the aircon fan bolted up to the back on a switch.
Okay.
So I can smash it on and draw extra air when I'm driving. I mean, like, I think you can fit them inside the shrouds anyway.
True. Yeah, S14 came like standard with those, eh?
Yeah.
They didn't have it on the S13, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So that's just something handy that's there. What else have I done? Nothing engine-wise.
Nothing engine-wise?
No. I want to put a manifold on it, but standard manifold good because it doesn't crack. Don't have to worry about it.
It doesn't crack, just doesn't sound as cool.
But yeah, like 750cc injectors. It's still got a standard head gasket, which is a shame, but we just baby the gauges.
Yep.
T517Z. Intercooler in a good spot. Oil cooler, good radiator.
What was the turbo again?
T517Z.
T517, and exhaust is just straight through, no muffler?
No, it's got a muffler.
It's got a muffler?
It's got a gator pipe.
Gator
so it
pipe.
sounds like a Tito's. I hate it. It stinks on the highway because it leaks.
It just reeks like of fumes and shit.
Yeah, they don't seal properly, so... But it sounds cool.
Did you do this to the...
Yes, that is a modification I have done.
Ah, okay. Was it like popping out before?
No.
No?
Safety.
Yeah.
Did that. I did a bit of a cleanup because like the wiring was all over the place. Jamie and I went to town on one weekend.
Yeah.
And just zip tied stuff together properly so it's not in the way. Like I think this used to be running like down and somewhere else, like on the underside of this.
I mean, that was asking for problems at some point.
Yeah. So Jamie's pretty good with running his wiring in different places, so we just tucked it away, put the battery behind the driver's seat so that it's probably more of a pain in the ass now.
Yeah.
It's easier with doing the intercooler piping that way.
This makes like working on it and stuff like a whole heap easier.
Yeah.
Like less cluttered.
Yeah.
Now it looks super like sorted and
it's just simple.
Yeah.
It's easy to work on too. Not that I work on it at all. Like it never breaks as such.
never giving you trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Touch wood.
No. Yeah. It's just simple. Simple and works.
Yeah. What do you reckon this is pushing out? Power-wise?
He did give me a dyno. I've only got it set to 1.1 bar. It's probably only around 333.
330, 350.
More than enough to sort of be able to have fun in the hills, yet be fast, go to Mayhan, do reasonably well.
Yeah. Kind of perfect, like
It's a good
reliable
balance.
setup.
Yeah, a really good reliable balance for practicing as well.
Mm.
So that's pretty much what this car's going to turn into. What else we
No, rad. So
go around the trickeries?
go around the car, have a look at the exterior. This bonnet might be familiar from another video.
Was it the same in that video?
I think it might have been, yeah. Off Yoda's car. And still kept all the stickers and everything. Man, what headlights are they? Are they the D-Max ones?
No. But I think it's pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
They're just Gearbox and
Like a...
GPs. Plastic sonar lenses, I think they're called. Like,
Oh, okay.
they're a full like aftermarket headlight. Like they're all brand new on the back. All new.
All mint.
Yeah. Like the prices of glass headlights or like genuine headlights now is just...
Yeah, honestly, probably prefer these ones rather than like the like normal projector type anyway.
It's the one good thing about having a Corky S14.
Yeah, right. I just need to make them for S14 now.
Fingers crossed 15 comes out soon.
Well, D-Max is making it, yeah. And then, yeah, Aero, what have you got on it?
Vertex Copy Aero.
Vertex Copy Aero?
Cheap crashes. Origin 45 mils, which look like they're 75 mil.
Yeah.
I hate them, but they're cheap. Vertex Copy side steps. Origin 55 mil rears, which are beat up and bent. No bumper.
No bumper?
No tail light. And yeah, did have a wing, but got it taken off at Mayhan
All destroyed?
at this crash.
Oh, true.
So this used to be the good side, now it's the bad side, but now it's the other way around.
And the Mayhan special bonnet latches?
Yep. Gets parked in a shed, so I don't hit.
Yeah. As far as like the wheels and suspension and bits and pieces like that goes, what have you done there?
I bought these wheels as soon as I bought the car. They are 57 CRs raised.
Yep.
18, 10.5 rear, 79 front. And then always run 265 fenders on the rear, and then a high grip.
Just the KR20 low grip ones in the rear, yeah?
Yeah. KR20s on the rear, and then at the moment I got a Celeras on the front, which were a mistake purchase.
Oh, why is that?
I didn't read the Yahoo auctions properly.
Oh, you got the like,
treadwear
yeah,
instead of 200
super
treadwear.
soft ones. Have they worn out real fast, or are they pretty good?
I've done 6 weeks straight in the hills, plus a TKL event and a Mayhan event on it. And I've only just flipped them last week.
They still look like pretty decent, so it looks like you get a fair amount of driving out of them. They feel good.
I like them. They're really good. They're a little bit of stiffer sidewall compared to the KR20As. And I found the Nankang NS2Rs, like as soon as you flip them, they just don't grip.
Yeah, we got like a heat kind of cycle.
Yeah, they once you flip them and you've had them heated up too many times, they feel like ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that the Nankangs are like good until they're like, I mean, as soon as you've like got the like certain amount of time out of them, even if there's tread, they're like pretty terrible. But like things like Kenders and stuff like that seem to like be good to the end.
The only thing about Kenders is they wear the shoulders really hard.
Yeah.
Like even the inners.
Because they're real soft. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas these have held up a little bit better. It's the same with Federals. Like Federals and Kenders wear shoulders real fast because I think the sidewalls are soft.
Okay.
These are a bit of a stiffer sidewall, so the shoulders have been a little bit better, but Mayhan, if you drive properly, yeah, left front will always scrub the outside.
You know, a good Mayhan driver if the this side's all worn out.
That's fluked.
But you know, I'm keen to give those a go next as well. I
want to try and put a slightly bigger space on the front.
What's it got on at the moment?
I've got 40 plus 2 5mm slip-on, so it's 50.
Yep. What?
Maybe go to like a 40 plus a 15mm.
What's the reason for that?
Just more track.
Yep.
More track, because apparently it's the number to have 60mm.
Just the number?
Yeah, 55, 60mm is supposed to be what's good for Nalki numbers.
Makes it easier to like.
I think it's not countering. It's like turn in and then you full lock. I don't know.
Just
Nalki
some
says it's good, so I'm
some magic. Like that's reason enough.
Yeah,
and so obviously
clearance as well. Like obviously you'll start hitting tubs and stuff, but fuck, that's why it's that high.
That high and.
That is those fenders though. They have a really high arch on them.
True, the normal ones.
The old fenders on it, which I pulled off, was like three fingers. So I don't know why they're high, but
to make the high cars look even higher.
Yeah.
What about suspension?
Suspension is what came in the car. Got kind of lucky. It's Swift springs all around, but it's like a cheap Chinese shock.
Okay.
And it actually works really good. So I think it might be 7.5s maybe, or
7.5s.
one stiff in the front. Those are 8.6s. Might be 9.5s.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It works.
It works.
Don't touch.
Do you do anything special with the alignment and bits and pieces like that?
Toe in rear, and then eye as good as I can to 0 camber.
Yeah, so it's never been on a machine? No.
I string lined it once for the first time, and I'm never doing it again because it took me like 2 hours to set up.
Too much of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. But I usually try and run toe in the rear and like 5mm toe out front toe.
Yeah.
2.5mm either side.
And for camber, just
as much as I can get, as little as I can get.
Yeah.
That's the only crap thing about 14s and 15s is the lower arms. You can't go to it in like standard extended arm.
Yeah.
13s you put 14 arms in and you get like extra track. 14s you can't do much. So I have home center top bolts.
Okay.
That are a smaller diameter, so it's kind of like using an S14 top bolt.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, so it gives like the more...
So you can fold the knuckle in onto the coil.
Pull the top one in more, yeah.
Which is scary because I've had one break.
Oh, really?
But hey, It's from Home Centre, so you buy a pack of 5.
Like solid logic.
Yeah. Other than that, IKEA tie rods, standard lower arm, standard rack position, Nismo rack bushes, and offset caster arms. So nothing special. It's pretty much what everybody does.
Yeah, literally, like everyone I've like done a video with is like
Done that.
almost like the exact same setup. Apart from the only difference was Hero with his like strut like mod. He extended like the lower bolt position on the strut, so it gave it more camber that way, rather than doing the smaller bolt at the top and putting the camber hats all the way in on the strut towers.
Which is new. I wish he told me that, because he told me to do this.
Right?
So,
right, no idea like anyone even did that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anyone else like do it like apart from him.
No, it's a really, really interesting concept, because it means you can bring your camber top up, like further out, so you get more track but still keep camber.
Yeah, and keeps like the strut like straight as well.
Caster alignment, I don't know.
As far back?
I do it by eye.
By eye.
So full counter, strut stand straight.
Yeah.
So theoretically, when you go lock to lock, the nose will go up and down, like up and right.
So you get it as straight as possible so it can jack.
Yep. So like it sits like that.
Yeah.
That's a
Takumi trick.
And it feels really good.
Like just as you'll put on more angle, it'll squat more, and then in turn give you more grip to do like more crazy entries.
It's essentially standard anyway. That's what a standard strut will do in standard casting.
Yeah. So you should have like
do what people say and it works. So.
Yeah.
Takumi told me that trick, and then Hero told me the trick about doing top bolts, a little bit of a smaller diameter.
Yeah.
I guess spacers has been something that I've been playing around with as like getting better, but also like spacer size, because we run standard caster arms, but pretty much standard position caster arms. You need to space it out, otherwise you get it on full lock. That's pretty much suspension in.
Yeah, and as far as the rear goes, it's all like adjustable arms and stuff like that.
It's got tractions in it as well.
Okay.
Arms, which I've never played around. That's probably something I need to talk to the Hero about, because he says that he's been playing around with traction arms and getting it to toe in on the squat. So.
He seems to have played around with them a bit and managed to make the most out of the suspension setup.
But like from how it drives, it feels pretty neutral. So I don't know how firm we set that up in the rear, but I've only touched toe.
Yeah.
And I think I've wound camber out once on one side. So I've pretty much bought it and just driven it and done minimal like.
It looks like it works good.
It's fun. What else have I done? Broke a gearbox.
Broke a gearbox? What gearbox do you have it in? Clutch?
SR gearbox. It used to have an IRC clutch in it, single plate, but I pulled that out and swapped it with Jamie for a Nismo Super Sports, I think they call it. Stepped down from copper mix.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think they're rated to like 400 horsepower, so
they seem to be like pretty good for like the SRs, where it seems to wear them out faster.
Well, it's the same center as a Super copper mix.
Yeah.
It's just the cover's different, so it's different spring.
Okay.
So it's
a little less aggressive.
Yeah, and it feels the same.
Yeah.
So, and because the discs are like what 10 or 12,000 yen to replace, if you burn one out, you just put another disc in.
Better than doing an ESR box.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So that's what I've changed there. Should we do interior?
Yeah.
Shut up. Interior. Actually, I've changed almost everything. Put a new seat in. Oh, we bought that together.
Oh yeah, we did too.
You found that for me.
We literally got the last
That was the last brand
new Z3 for sale in was it Super Autobucks, yeah?
Autobucks down the road. Got that. The guy didn't even know what it was and tried to sell it to us with the freaking display.
Yeah, right. Yeah, went back there again and still like no more new stock.
So I was stoked on that. Kind of want to put it in the 15, but I kind of don't because I use this car more. I got the steering wheel and the quick release off of another car that I bought from Fumi.
Okay. So or was that
the white S14?
Yeah.
Casey and I went up and bought a car off of Fumi from Nagoya and bought it to sell it. Like he wanted to sell it overseas, so we basically bought it off of him for the price that he wanted and sold it.
Yep.
I got the steering wheel and the quick release off of it, and that was it. So steering wheel that I've been wanting to buy for this car.
Nutty 330mm.
Deep long. So, and then the dash cluster is pretty much broken.
Like nothing works.
Speedo started working because I put an S14 box in it after I had an S13 box in it, so the sensor didn't work. But the tacho needle's broken off, so it's got a pivot tacho in there.
Do you want to chuck your key in?
Lights on. Just light up with like no sensors. Has the worst silvia key barrel I've ever experienced in my life. It's a new key too.
Any day now.
Yeah, I'm coming. Every time I give this car to someone, I freak out they're going to snap the key for it.
Just go to crank it.
I've had that on my S14 in Australia.
Someone just snapped the key?
A friend of mine borrowed the car and snapped the key in the boot.
Really? I've actually done it in my S13 before as well.
No, the pivot doesn't light up.
Oh, really?
No. Unless it's 10 on.
There we go.
Deffies came from the 180.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it off, otherwise it won't be. Deffies came from the 180 when I sold it back to Hero after buying it from Hero.
You got that car pretty cheap as well, eh?
Bargain bin boy. Do I say how much?
I don't know, up to you.
It's $1,500 plus shuck-in or like plus registration, so I think it was 250,000 yen, but it was box stock. Like it had a diff and coilovers, and it was probably the oldest set of teens I've ever seen in my life.
Everyone listening to this now is going to be crying.
I know.
Or watching it.
I'm crying because I sold it back for 150,000 yen.
Oh, what?
But that car lasted me what, 5 years?
You got a fair bit of driving out of it, eh?
It had a year straight of pretty much every weekend.
Yeah.
And then I think every corner got damaged. It had, I think, 2 wall rides at Mayhem where the whole side got damaged.
I mean, for that price, you probably wouldn't have minded like too much.
No, I just did not care because I knew that, well, for one, like I didn't know how long I was going to live here.
Yeah.
So I was sort of like, I want to become a good driver, so I just want to drive as much as I can. So crashing was just part of it.
Crash it and Hero will get me another 100k S 186. It's all good.
I wish. That 180, just didn't die. And then the funny thing is I think he drove it once or twice in the hills and it died.
Really?
It was pretty sad. It was on its way out, so that was half the reason why I wanted it gone.
Yeah, just starting to get slowly slower and slower.
Oh, no. Yeah, it was pretty slow. What else did I pull? Oh, roll cage is a special freebie from Jamie as well.
Oh yeah?
He wrecked out an S13 and I said to him, if I can make an S13 roll bar fit in an S14, can I have it?
Weird is it? Was there anything majorly different, or?
Front legs are perfect.
Yeah.
Main hoop's perfect. The rear legs are the wrong angle.
Did you manage to get it bolted up somewhere, or is it just kind of how you go?
I'll show you what I mean. I might have to get my phone. Can you see? No, hang on. If you go in, I'll get my phone. This is a secret trip for everybody wanting to buy an S14 roll cage and they can't. So if you look at the bottom, I've put if you go like towards the fender,
Yep.
the bottom bolt on the front there, I've got like 2 rubber washers, and then I think there's like a big thick nut in the middle.
Ah, okay. So it just needs to be spaced out more to make it work.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if I'm in a crash, that's gonna fuck out.
Not ideal. But at least it's
nothing.
like on the main like front and
Yeah,
rear is
exactly.
like probably the most important.
Yeah, exactly right. So, I don't know,
Because
it was a bit of a joke, and it kind of was better than getting thrown in the
It
bin.
looks
'cause-
like it fits pretty good anyway.
Yeah, I was amazed. Like, it's perfect around the main. Like,
You're like super snug, eh?
super good. The front legs are the same as well. That goes around the dash perfectly. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go, everyone.
Cheers, Jamie.
Cheers, Jamie, and
S13 cages fit into S14s. Should we try it into the S15?
I reckon it probably wouldn't be much different, yeah? Oh, the S15 roof is like
Higher? No, lower.
probably lower, yeah?
Don't know.
I don't know. Give it a go.
It did have sidebars, but we binned them because I just didn't want them.
Yeah.
They were a pain in the ass. But no, S13 roll cage. Yeah, Defi's
Power FC.
RFC airflow like what is it? Dejetro airflow.
Yeah.
Less.
Airflow less.
And the sound system.
They seem to be super rare, the airflow less ones.
No, they're the new ones. They're the new gen. If you
Oh,
buy
like
new,
still made now?
Yeah, if you buy a new gen, that's what you get. I'm pretty
Ah,
sure.
okay.
So it's the latest and greatest. But a lot of people aren't using Paraseas anymore, so I like them. It works.
Simple work.
Yeah, easy to tune, or pretty
Yes,
much
limited
everybody can
noise.
tune. Yeah.
All the important stuff. And
No,
you get a
other
cool little
than that.
controller.
Yeah. Just works. It's pretty easy to drive. I mean, S14 chassis is good in that sense. They're grippy, so they drive easy.
Yeah, compared to like a S13 or 180.
13 spot, they say snappier because
Yeah.
the fuel tank's right at the back. This, because the fuel tank's above the diff and the rear, like, sort of center axle,
Yeah,
they're a little bit grippier, and the chassis is softer, so they squat heaps more,
softer.
and they twist.
Yeah,
So roll bars are good. But because they squat heaps in the rear, a lot of people like them for competitions because you can pull them out like frontline grip as easy to get out of them.
okay. Oh, S14
That may be why James Dean reuses S14s.
could be the secret.
Could be the secret.
I wonder.
But then 15's supposed to be the one in between. Has like the right sort of balance to
then they've
squat,
probably got
but
a-
still snappy.
Instead of chassis, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting, eh? I didn't really like know too much about like.
Bit of not a silvia gig,
Yeah.
but no little things like that. Well, I don't know. I just ask dumb questions to listen to the end.
Secret
else?
knowledge.
Yeah. There's nothing really other.
Diff wise, it's
4.3 Nismo.
4.3 Nismo, 2-way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have you got in there? Yeah, what are some like tips or special S14 tricks, Silvia tricks?
Buy a built one and drive it.
Buy a built one and drive it?
S14 things. Run them high in the rear, maybe,
Why is that?
because they're squat hips.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And the inner tubs are a different shape to 15s and 13s. They got like
Yeah.
a weird step in them. So even if you like, well, if you cut them to put overs on, it's all sweet. But if you run standard body or try and pull the guards out, that is weird step in them, so you can't rail it.
Oh,
Do it
really?
with a scrub.
Yeah.
I experienced in Australia. But never again.
I guess most of the time you'll cut them up and put overs on them anyway, so it's...
I'll never have a stock body car ever again. Unless it's a street car, which I can't afford. Free rein outro.
Free rein outro. Give it to him. Hi, I'm Macy and...
The inner me is thinking, what does LZ and TJ say? Nah. I don't know. Simple. Drive, have fun, crash.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Riri.
Riri?
I don't know, we'll do another one on the S15, I guess.
Ooh, part 2.
Part 2 coming soon.
Alright. Cheers, guys.
Another purchased car that I haven't done a shit to.
All right, that's all for this one. See you next time.